Hi there folks, and welcome to number 5 of the Wisdom episodes, and I'd like to talk to you about words. And words. Just like time and money, words also don't exist. They're an idea, a concept, a form of communication. I mean, words go back thousands and millions of years to when communication was invented, and obviously different tribes have different ways of communicating, and different tribes had different languages and different words, and eventually through one tribe visiting another and talking to another tribe, they would have got a common communication, maybe a common language, and over the years these languages have developed, and usually the countries that have colonized one land and taken another land have introduced that language into that land, thus kind of containing or gathering the people in a single kind of knowledge field, all using the same words, all using the same language, all following the same kind of information. Now the thing with language is, words are magical. Words are magical objects. So even if you're not like a magician or a wizard or anybody like that, you're still doing magical words. You're still casting spells by spelling words. You still, let me take a simple example. You go into a shop and they haven't got what you need, and you start arguing and shouting. You've got a bad mood, and you use bad words, you use bad spells, you use bad spelling. You make the shopkeeper angry, and then he's angry for the rest of the day, and it could spread. But if you're really nice to that guy and you use the right words, then you put him in a good mood and he's having a good day. So essentially you've affected the mood and the knowledge and everything else with the words you use. Now years and years and years ago we had basic languages like Greek and Latin, and if you know Latin and you look at Latin or you look at Greek, you'll see that it's very much built up in building blocks. So the language makes a lot more sense. Things that are related connect together. Like Lego blocks that all fit together to make a picture. Well, what's happened with the English language? The English language is like a kind of a collection out of French, Latin, Greek, German, all these different languages which are basically rooted in Greek and German. Now if you speak just German or you just Latin or whatever, then you'll be able to see these codes, these kind of building blocks, the way they fit together. But English is kind of like using Morse code, SMS, telephone, sign language, all kind of mixed together, one word after the next. So it's a very confusing language because it follows not just one rule, it follows loads of different rules, all mixed together. So what happens is we can get really confused with the English language, especially when we go into another country. For example, the word gift, as in present, gift, a birthday gift. In German, gift is poison. So if you was offering a German a gift, then you'd be offering them poison. So you can see how a war could start through that. Well, just alone in England, when you say the word free, I mean, what does free mean? Does it mean free beer? Does it mean free speech? Does it mean free from to be free from a cage? Or is it a state of mind? Free. So obviously the language doesn't really accommodate true freedom, because the word freedom has become, or the word free has become so ambiguous. Other words like peace. You've got a piece of cake. You've got peace, which is the lack of sound. You've also got peace, which is a state of harmony. And our modern understanding of the word of peace is not war, but that's also not true. They're all kind of misunderstandings. So words are magic, and if you are aware of the words you're using and the impact they're having on the person you're saying to them, no matter what the word, then you can begin to observe that and change that. A few small clues I'll give you right now, just for like a game, for observation, is observe the way you say is. It is. If you say it is sunny today. You are making a statement. You are making like a judgment. If you say it seems sunny today, then it's saying the same thing, except you're kind of saying that to your senses it appears to be sunny, but you're not like declaring it. So if I was to say, oh, that, you know, say if somebody steals, or say somebody takes something, then you could say that person is a thief. But that person might not be a thief. They might it might belong to them, or they might have thought, you know, had a wrong thought, you know, been confused. So if you was to say that person seems to be a thief, then when that person comes back, it's a lot easier to actually take away that is. You know, so if you use is, the other one is but. You know, if I was to say you're intelligent, but, you know, you're good looking, but you're not that intelligent. Or you're ugly, but you're intelligent. You see, so that means you're ugly, but you're intelligent. If I was just to say, but you're intelligent, that would still mean that there's like a kind of a but. You could say instead, you're ugly, and yet you're intelligent. So try changing the word but into and yet, yeah, and is into it seems. Just observe those two words, the way you use but and the way you use is. Another level of language is visual and audio misunderstanding. So like when you look at a word, it has the effect of looking like other words. You know this thing where if you change all of the letters within a word together, we can still understand it. So if you take a word, I ain't got an example on the top of my head now, but there's a lot of words that when you look at, you can also see different words in those words. Like the word friend has got the word friend, the word end in there. So that has an effect on the psychological thing. Very small effects, but the more words that you use, the more these tiny little effects are taking place. And so if they're generally positive, they'll have a generally positive effect, and if they're generally negative, they'll have a generally negative effect. So if I say to, you know, there's this audio misperception. For example, if I say something to you and you misunderstand it and say it to the next person, it's hearsay. It's like it's been changed. An old example is from the war. Send 3 and 4pence. We're going to a dance. And this was misinterpreted as send reinforcements, we're going to advance. Send 3 and 4pence, we're going to a dance. Send reinforcements, we're going to advance. Two totally different meanings and nearly the same sound. You know, it's called Chinese whispers. So in the world today, we've got some technologies called NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. People in business usually go to sometimes to an NLP training session, which helps them to make sales pitches, to formulate advertising properly, so that you're not using negative connotations by accident in your advertising and scaring off a lot of people. You know, some words that we use have got a negative connotation, even if they're like it got a positive word. And so NLP is a kind of way of saying something without saying it. Like send 3 and 4pence, we're going to a dance. You know, in NLP you would know that that had a very, very close connotation to the negative send reinforcements, we're going to advance. So a little trick that YouTube's now implemented into its videos and a lot of other videos is automatic speech recognition. So if you go down to the bottom there, I think it is, there's a little thing that says CC, like 2 C's, CC. If you hover over it with your mouse, then you should see a little menu come up and it says transcribe audio beta. Click on that, and then it'll say this is an experiment. Click OK, and then suddenly English subtitles should appear here with two little speakers each side to kind of indicate that it's hearsay. So the speech recognition should be then at that point when you click it on. Not all videos have got it on. What's happened? Yeah, when you click it on, not all videos have got it on, but when you click it on, you'll see what the computer is recognizing in its speech recognition. So obviously, sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. But when you say, send three and fourpence will go into a dance, I wonder what it says then, you know. So the idea of this this little button here is you can use it as a kind of an NLP training device. Obviously this is done by a computer, this subtitling. So it's got a different kind of brain than you and I. But it kind of indicates and shows you the way a computer can misunderstand what you're saying. And there's not just one misunderstanding, there's lots and lots of misunderstandings. So if I blast a 5-minute advert at you, if I'm very clever, I can control those misunderstandings to forcefully, through hearsay, get your brain to pick up subliminally a completely different meaning within what's been said. If you look at those subtitles, you can also activate it on adverts and other things that you see on the internet that you might want to just be interested. What could be the NLP? You know, what could be the neuralistical programming going on subversively here? And that little button's useful. You've got to remember, NLP isn't an evil mechanism or a new world order secret plan or anything. It is just basically a technique which can be used for good and evil. You know, and this is the general thing about wizardry, sorcery, or just being a human being, or anything. You've always got the chance of good and evil. Same with the words. You can use words in good, and you can use the words in evil. So that's almost about it for words. For now, you could say a million things about words in words. What you can do is, if a word sounds like another word, then be aware of it. Be aware of the fact that if someone's saying to you free, then it's got like several different meanings. Or if someone's saying to you, you know, drive or walk, or, you know, the word comes from the word Wort in German. It's a German or like Norse word. It's an old word, and it means Wort comes from the word Wurzel, which means root, and Ort is also like the root place of a word. So word is like root, the root. And now leg, and this has been disputed. You know, in one way, leg comes from Latin, which means an order, like an order, to order something, to put it in an order, to lay it down in the right order. According to like language people, the leg is also in Latin. It means to read. So you've got this combination which basically means to read order, which kind of also means law. So if you look at the word legal, we're talking about legal as being words that have the power of law. Now, a legality, the words of a legal are called legalese. It's a language. You can see it in this is the normal Oxford English, yeah. Yeah, the Oxford English Dictionary. If you find the Black's Law Dictionary and read all of the things in there, for example, the word understand no longer means comprehend. It means to stand under. Yeah. So if I say to you, do you understand? And you say yes, that means you stand under what I've said. You've put that. You've given that authority. things like that. So, you know, the words in law is where to look, really. What does the legal definitions mean? Because that's where words really do play their full serious role. When you're in Supreme Court, then your words really do matter. And if you have to understand your own words, it doesn't matter really if somebody else understands your words as long as you can understand them, and as long as you can kind of explain them, and as long as you know what the words mean not, so that when somebody else says to you blah blah blah, you can say, I didn't mean that word. When I said this is free, I didn't mean to say it was priceless, it had no cost on it. It was to say that it's free of license, because license is the opposite of freedom. That's all. I hope that was helpful. So words, law, mind, and, you know, spells, and yeah, so keep an eye on the words. Cheerio.